Hello and welcome. You have tuned into Buy Now, Sell Now and ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me as always is Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where you get answers for all your stock-related queries. We are sure that you must be having a lot of queries. So we will be starting just in a short while from now, connecting with our experts and helping you have their take on your stock-specific stocks that you have in your portfolio. But as of now, Cheryl, the markets are in the red, but the fall in the Nifty 50 is actually sharper because no support coming in from Reliance as well as TCS is under pressure.
Absolutely. A very good morning to you, Shrishti. And if you look at the markets, yes, we are very much in the negative territory with Nifty actually giving up even 21,900 mark in today's trading session. We are sub those levels as well. Pressure coming in the benchmark indices today, like we've always been seeing actually the broader markets bearing the heavy brunt, but today you have benchmarks also that are participating. Right now, as you can see it on your screen, you have the broader markets at the day's lowest point. That is your small cap as well as mid cap index. You have mid cap index fallen about 1.5% from the day's highest point, and also similar moves coming in for the small cap index as well. If you look at the picture on the Nifty, it's pretty bleak because you only have a handful of gainers. About 8 stocks are the only ones that are in the positive territory. Right now, it is actually dipped to 7 stocks that are in the positive territory, with Bajaj Finance, Bharti Airtel, ICICI Bank among the top gainers, while on the flip side, BPCL, top loser on the Nifty, 3.5% downtick coming in for BPCL. You have Nestle, TCS, Cipla, Indocent, all of them actually seeing a lot of pressure in trade today. Advanced decline ratio, needless to say, is very much skewed in the favor of the declines, but heartening to note that the Nifty Bank is falling much less when you compare to benchmark indices or even the broader market. So you have a tad bit of outperformance coming in from the Nifty Bank in today's trading session. Talking about the sectoral indices, then all the sectors are in the negative territory, with the PSU sector primarily seeing the bigger cut, 1.9% downtick for that one. Nifty IT also seeing a sharp cut of about 1.8%. Realty, FMCG, energy. Actually, all the pockets, Shrishti, are seeing sharper cuts, sharper than the benchmark indices as well. So yes, the picture is not looking that bright, and now I think we are at the day's lowest point for the Nifty as well.
Well, yes, day's lowest point coming in for the Nifty, 200 points cut on the benchmark indices. But let's see how the second half pans out to be. But with this, let's move forward and let's connect with our experts and viewers. You can connect with us live on a WhatsApp number that will be flashing on the top of your screen. And you can also write to us on our social media pages, that is the X as well as Facebook pages, and we will try to get all your stock related queries answered by them. So let's start quickly and let me welcome Kush Bohra on the technical side, as well as Shahina Mukadam is also joining us to guide us fundamentally. A very good morning to both of you. And the first query that I have is for you, Kush. This one is coming from Prashant from Delhi, and he wants a take on BEL. He's having 200 shares from a price of 105. What to do in this one? And he also has Anant Raj, 100 shares from a price of 307 rupees. He wants a 6 months view in both of these names.
Sure, Shrishti. Hi. First up, a very good morning to you, to Cheryl, Shina, and all the viewers. Continue to hold. BEL is not an issue at all. We've seen a sharp decline, but we all know the kind of move that these stocks had made. The stocks now forming a base close to these 185, 180 odd levels. Even if it slips a little further, 175 is a strong support zone. I don't see too much of an issue with the stock per se. In fact, this might actually turn out to be a buy opportunity on declines. It's just that we're waiting for some indications that this indeed is the base for the stock. So continue to hold, perhaps even look to add more. Anantraj also fairly similar views, very sharp run up. This is only a profit booking bout that we are seeing. This stock also perhaps a good candidate to add on dips around the 280 levels. So both stocks continue to hold and look to add some more at these declines.
Let's move on and let's take the next query coming in from Rima, who's writing to us from Pune. Holding RBL Bank with 180 shares at a price of 219 rupees per share. Wants to know whether it makes sense to hold or look to exit RBL Bank. She wants a long-term view. Let me first greet both of you. Good morning, Kush, as well as Shaina. Thank you so much for joining us. And Shaina, this query is for you. RBL Bank, the average buy price is 219, somewhere around where the stock is actually perched at currently. The stock has not seen a good run of late and has been actually seeing volatile moves as well. For the longer term, makes sense for her to stay put with RBL Bank or look to book out of this one?
Well, I think she should continue to hold, but do keep a stop loss because the short term looks pretty weak. So she can keep a stop loss, closer to about 200. So thereby she limits her losses. I think the longer term looks good because the bank is turning around and is doing pretty well in terms of their quality of asset book improving.
All right, that's a hold coming in on RBL. But moving on, and Shahina, what will be your advice on Astral? One of our viewers, I didn't get his name. Okay, his name is Karminder Singh Walia. He's holding Astral 150 shares from a price of 2,034 rupees. Would you advise to go ahead and average this particular stock? If yes, then any levels to average the counter?
It's better off that he waits for some more time before he looks to average. So I would not advise him to average as of now. Maybe lower levels, closer to say 1,700 would be some level which he could look to average.
All right, this one is coming for you, Kush, particularly from Badri, who's writing to us from Bangalore, and he's holding about 100 shares of Som Distilleries at a price of 280 rupees per share. He wants to know what's the future outlook for this one. Can he add some more at current levels, or should he look to exit this particular counter? No doubt, Som Distilleries over the past 3 months has seen a rough patch, but makes sense to stay put with it rather than booking out on losses.
Well, a little tricky, that one, in the sense, the stock's actually seen selling pressure at every rise. So even if there have been some kind of, bouts at a couple of, on a couple of days or weeks, they've just turned out to be exit opportunities. So my suggestion would be to exit at current levels. The stock's not even reached oversold territory, so even a technical rebound cannot really be anticipated at these levels. So it'll be a good idea to perhaps, exit at current levels, in some distilleries.
All right, moving on to the next one. Shahina, Satya firstly is thanking you for Wadilal, I guess. He's saying that please thank Shahina for Wadilal. And secondly, now he wants to have your take on the pharma space and want to know what's your favorite pharma company as of now, and where are you eyeing in the pharma space as of now?
For the compliment. Yeah, in fact, coming to Vanillal, I think even now it looks good. It's been seeing a good movement in the last couple of months. So, of course, that would be a continue to hold. And pharmaceuticals, I think there is an overall improvement in sentiment for the whole sector. And if I was to pick 3 stocks, because pharma is such that US FDA news sentiment wise, something or the other keeps happening. So you need to have a portfolio of stocks. So in that, I would like Arbindo, Dr. Reddy, Sun Pharma in this order.
All right. This one is now coming in from Shankar from Tuticorin, and he's holding 2 stocks. One is IRFC, 4,150 shares at a price of 32 rupees per share. Kush. Ircon International as well, about 1,200 shares at a price of 57 rupees per share. He's saying he's making decent profits. He's being pretty modest about it, looks like it. But can he add some more of these stocks for the next 2 years, given the fact that he actually bought it at a really attractive price, isn't it?
Indeed, I mean, anyone making these kind of returns and calling them decent, yeah, absolutely. I think, see, these stocks have come in a bit, come in a sharp round of profit booking. There isn't a structural damage if you see on, some of these names. They had risen a lot faster than some of the other names, hence the fall also might seem a little, sharper, a little deeper. But I don't see there is, too much of trouble. These stocks have respected, some of their key support zones. So this will perhaps be a good time to, stay put or even add some more. The only concern that I mentioned a while ago, about adding some more is that the market is in a bit of a downturn and these stocks haven't really formed a base per se. So perhaps, you could wait for some more time and, the first signs that we see of rebound, or you could just, ring in again and ask us when the markets are perhaps steadying a little. Those would be good times to add some more. So definitely hold on and look for buying opportunities at, these or perhaps even lower levels.
Let me take the next query coming in from Mohit. And Shahina, Mohit wants to know about SCI. So Mohit says that he's holding 1,500 shares of Shipping Corporation of India from a price of 39 rupees. I assume that today, since the listing of Shipping Corporation of India assets, land and assets happen near to those levels, I literally confirmed with him that Mohit, which company are you talking about? And he says that back in March 2020, he entered into SCI. So for now, what's the take coming in on SCI? And given the fact that he must have received SCI land and assets, what's the view for the next 2 years on this one as well?
He should continue holding. Yeah, he's received both the shares now, and he should continue holding because performance is improving substantially. And I think he should. Even freight rates are going up, so he should hold it.
Right. Let's move on then, and let me take the next query coming in from Sayak, who's writing to us from Bangalore. He's saying, considering the low valuations and consistent business growth, is it worth investing in Bengal Assam company, Bengal and Assam company, or Nava for the matter of fact? What's your take coming in on these counters, Shahina? Have you tracked both of them by any chance? And yes, if you look at the rise, it's been spectacular.
Yeah, it's a high dividend paying and you can continue holding. It's a holding company of JK Lakshmi Cement, and there is some restructuring going on in that group. So I think as of now, it's a hold.
And viewers, before we hit the break, we are back with the latest edition of Time Now Summit. And over the years, Time Now Summit has been championing pertinent national agenda points where India's leadership, leading thinkers and national influencers come together to define the action plan for India's progress. Themed India Unstoppable this year, we will focus on charting India's remarkable journey and its increasing influence on the global stage. Join us on 27th and 28th of March in New Delhi and watch the who's who of the political corridors share their views. Do stay with us for all the highlights and all the action as the action begins here only on ET Now.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Just before we hit break, you had Shahina give a view on SCI as well as SCI land and assets. In fact, we've caught up exclusively with the management. Just hear out what he had to say to my colleague Anuraksha.
This is just beginning for the shares, and I'm very confident in coming days you will see the real value of the SCI Lal shares.
Okay.
There is a lot of hidden value, and as investors or market will recognize this, and you will see within few days, as maybe within week 10 days, you will see the real value of SCI Lal shares.
Yes,
I'm very confident.
And sir, how long the demerger process will take? Because still the process is not complete.
No, process is legally completed. Only properties need to be transferred from SCI to SCI Lal, and that is at the advanced stage. So that is no hindrance. Legally, these all properties belong to SCI Lal today.
Okay. And sir, going ahead, sir, what will be the revenue model? Because that investors want to know.
See, revenue model will be first is the real estate proper optimum utilization, and we are going to use MTI Training Institute Powai at an international level. So these will be the two major source of revenue for the company.
And sir, you will be continuing as a chief of the new entity?
Yes, at the moment, government has appointed me and other functional director on the board of SCI Lal also.
And sir, in this also, you will be looking for other revenues also to expand it?
Yes, definitely. We as a board, we are going to basically do a little more diversification and how to best utilize these available resources of the company.
Okay, so that was the management of SCI. SCI Land and Assets listing happened today, which was done at a premium. But as of now, we are seeing both the counters under pressure. But with this, let's move on and let's get back to all your stock-related queries then. And Shahina, coming to you for another PSU name, and that query is on NTPC. Bhardwaj is a long-term investor and has been holding 830 shares of NTPC from a price of 170 rupees. He wants to know, can he go ahead and buy more at the current market price?
Well, yeah, he can, but I mean, it's always better to sort of wait for good corrections and then go in. But otherwise, the stock looks okay. It's about 1.8 times 1 year forward price to book, and it's got huge expansion plans. So I would say that of course continue holding what you have and look for dips to buy. So I would prefer buying it at slightly lower levels because on a very short term basis it does look like a little weak.
This one is coming to you, Kush, from Sitaram Ganesh from Chennai, and he wants to know: is there any possibility of Dr. Reddy's actually going ahead and taking support below that 6,000 rupees per share mark?
So, well, I think an immediate support comes in at about 6180, 6200 levels where it's currently trading at. And, the next support zone of the 50-day moving average comes in at 6,100. So I think there are multiple support zones at play. So if it does actually come up until 6,000, then perhaps there could be some change in the structure of the stock. So I'll be a little wary if it actually does come to that level. So for me, the current levels of 6,200 and then perhaps the 50-day moving average of 6,100 are the key support zones. If it is holding on to these levels, I'll stay invested. Otherwise, I might perhaps look to exit those stocks. 6,000, more of a psychological number. Technically, perhaps the structure would have changed, and not for the better here.
All right, Shahina, coming to you for the next query. This one is on Exide Industries. Actually, today Axis Capital has downgraded this counter and they are targeting 240 rupees on this one, and that's why some pressure on the counter. But Padma Severa wants to know, can he go ahead and buy Exide for a long term? What will be your view? How the valuations and the long-term plan, especially the lithium battery manufacturing, how is that stacking up for you?
Well, for maybe if she wants to buy it, she can buy it at slightly lower levels. I think at current levels, it looks like a bit expensive. But yeah, I mean, it's a mid cap stock, and one can buy it at lower levels for the medium to longer term. They have got plans in place for new batteries for the EV space, but I think that's a long term thing. So one should buy it only at dips, not at current levels.
All right, the next one is coming from Venkat Ramani from Bangalore. For you, Kush, he wants to know about two counters. One is Hindustan Copper, the other one is Gabriel India. He wants to know whether it's right time to buy these counters for a period of about 12 months, or rather he wants to know when will be the right time to buy these counters.
Sure. So, see, Hindustan Copper has sort of benefited from whatever's happening globally, and hence, it is one of those rare metal stocks that hadn't really fallen as much. I think perhaps, this is a good time to, enter into this stock. It's holding up, very close to its key averages. And perhaps, even if it does see a bit of a dip, let's say to 250, 255 kind of zones, it'll still be in an accumulation zone. So Hindustan Copper at current levels or even up until 255 zones is a good, entry point for, for the stock. Gabriel, there's a bit of a concern. The stock's been in a bit of a downturn. This week is the first week, perhaps, that, we're seeing an attempt to recovery. So I wouldn't read too much into it. For me, a support zone comes in at about 295. I know it's a little deepish, but, at 295, if it does hold on to that level and, does, give a rebound, then perhaps we'll consider. Otherwise, it'll be on my wait and watch list for some time.
All right, moving on to the next query, and Kush, once again coming to you because Gautam wants to know a view on Page Industries. Can he go ahead and buy this one at current levels?
No, there has been a fall that the stock's witnessing. Is very close to the support zone of 34,000. Any kind of dip from here on will actually push it lower. So 33,000, 32,500 will also perhaps be on the cards. There isn't any real sign of recovery. If he wants to really enter the stock, I think he should wait for the 20-day moving average to be taken out, which currently comes in at about 35,300. So once that level is taken out and, we have a couple of closings above that, that would perhaps be the first sign that, there is some sort of a recovery happening in the stock. Up until then, I would suggest just, avoid or keep it on your wait and watch list to see the 35,300 level taken out.
Right, this one is coming from M. Mativanan, who's writing to us from Chennai. For you, Shahina, 100 shares of automotive stampings at the levels of 530, and I'm unsure if you track this one, BNR Securities at a price of 40 rupees per share. How are these counters looking to you? Worth holding on to?
Well, I think it's if you're holding for the longer term, yeah, auto stampings you can hold. But otherwise, I would, if you're a short-term investor, you can actually switch to a larger cap because this market cap is very small. It's a very small cap equity stock. So in these volatile markets, it's better to hold large caps. And the other one was, I didn't get the name.
Securities. Not sure if you track this one because I've also not like heard of it too often actually. Yeah, Kush is nodding his head there. I got Kush's answer already. So I believe, Shahina, you're also not tracking this one, right?
No.
Absolutely. And like you said, it makes sense to actually be in a larger cap, well-known spaces than actually look to invest in companies which have low volumes as well as low stock movement as well. So yeah, that's a key note for all of our viewers out there. Shrishti?
The next query that I have is coming from Pradeep from Kolkata, one of our regular viewers. And Shahina, he wants a take on Apollo Microsystems. He's holding 300 shares from a price of 22 rupees. He's saying having almost 5x the returns on this one. But can he, what to do in this one? He can continue holding for the next 2 to 3 years and he's a long-term investor. Should he stay invested or book some profits at this point in time?
I think he can take some profits off the table. Here, it's a small cap company, but it's like an average performer. So shorter term, I think it will consolidate, but for the medium to longer term, he will get some decent returns. So if he's short term, he can book his profits. If he's longer term, he can continue to hold.
All right, coming to you, Kush, this is coming from Rajiv from Delhi. He's a senior citizen. He wants to know about EIL. What's your 6-month view on this particular counter? I'm unsure if he's already invested in this counter or if he's looking to invest in the counter. If he's already invested, what's the trajectory looking like? And if he wants to invest, do you think it makes sense?
So, this space has seen a lot of traction, and there have been, times where this has been one of the rank out performers. It's just that it's taken a beating, along with the other PSU names. I think there will be a time to perhaps reconsider buying the stock as a fresh entry point, but not just yet. The stock is attempting to form a base close to this 180, 185 kind of levels, but hasn't really been successful at that. So hold on in any fresh purchases. Perhaps 170 is a good level to consider any kind of fresh entry. And if the view is anywhere from 6 to perhaps even 12 months, then these dips will turn out to be a good buying opportunity.
All right, that's the take coming in on Engineers India. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now show, where we get you answers for all your stock related queries, and today we have Kush as well as Shahina to guide you better. And the next query that I have, Kush, is coming in from Vaishnavi from Chennai, and she has bought shares of ONGC 37 in quantity, back at the rate of 266 is what she's saying. It was back in 2014 that she entered in this counter. What will be your advice on this stock?
Far too much patience, got to give her that at least. From the near-term perspective, the stock is taking support at the 50-day moving average and, with a positive bias. I think, it'll be a good idea to perhaps, exit at, her buying price and switch to, some other stock which have been wealth creators for, a while now. So I think, hold on to this one, exit close to the buying price or maybe slightly above that. A positional stop loss here will come in at about 245.
All right, this one is coming in from Muni Rajulu. He's writing to us from Andhra Pradesh, and he wants to know whether it's right time to enter Salzar Technologies as well as AGI Green Pack for the long term. Shahina, do you think both of these counters make the cut for a long term investment?
Well, see, I personally own Salsa Technologies, so I don't really want to comment on it. But it is in the power space. The overall space is doing well, and so I would say that one can look at the stock. The other one, API Green, I think valuations are expensive, so it's better to avoid.
All right, moving on to the next one. And Kush, what will be your short-term outlook on Praj Industries? Mekha from UAE is holding the shares from a price of 544 rupees, 95 in quantity. She wants a technical and a short-term view in this one.
So keep a strict stop loss at 450. That's the recent low that the stock has made. Remember, the stock is in a sharp downturn ever since mid or early December. There is an attempt at rebound. So for me, the first level to watch out for will be 500. And once that is taken out, perhaps we're looking at a 520 kind of a level. So might still be some way away from her buying price. My suggestion would be to keep exiting at every rise. So 500, 520, if she does indeed get those levels, perhaps keep exiting at higher levels. 545 might seem like a distant number right now, and a positional stop loss, as I said, it comes in at about 450. If the stock breaks that, it'll be the disruption of the near term base that it had made. So from there on, also it'll be a very clear exit.
This one has come from V. Murli. He's writing to us from Bangalore. Shahina, he wants to know about Nucleus Software. He's saying the stock has seen a sharp correction ever since its earnings. How does this one look to you, as well as WPIL? I'm not sure if you track this one closely. At the current price, does it make sense to go ahead and buy this one given the low P?
Well, actually, Nucleus Software, it is it's a small cap IT stock, and it has done reasonably well over the medium term. I would say you could continue to hold Nucleus Soft, and the other one I don't track. I have no idea.
Any view on that one? WPIL, Kush, by any chance? Have you tracked this one on the charts?
No, not something that I track very closely. Just a quick study suggests that it's actually close to the support zone. That 3,000, 3,100 are the key support zones. If that is taken out, it could head further south.
All right, moving on, and once again coming to you, Kush, a viewer named Brijo, who I guess is writing to us for the first time, wants an advice on TCS, one of the stocks in focus on the back of the big block deal, and he entered into TCS on an intraday basis. 4,050 is his buying price. Should he hold TCS at this point in time, and any levels that you would like to highlight for him?
Sure, Shishi. So I'm assuming with the nature of the query that this is perhaps a short-term trade. So hold on to this one with a stop loss at about 39.80. And because of the impact that we've seen today, the stock is in a bit of a down move. But once that is absorbed, once that is taken out, I think the stock could head to his buying price and perhaps even to 4,100 and above kind of levels. So hold on to this one. I know it's a short-term bet. So 3080, 3090 are the stop losses that I would look at, and any kind of rebound will take it to about 4050 and 4100 levels.
Shahina, coming to you, we have this one from Ursita, who's writing to us from Mumbai, and the stock that she wants to know about is Yes Bank. The buy price for Yes Bank is around 29 rupees per share. She wants to know whether it makes sense to stay put with Yes Bank or look to go ahead and book losses. Yes Bank, we know, has been in news constantly, but what's your take? For the longer term, stay put with it, be patient?
Yeah, I would say continue to hold, stay put for the long term.
All right, stay put for the long term in Yes Bank. But Shahina, the next query is from Chaitanya from Hyderabad, and he wants 3 stock ideas for ultra long term, and from that it means an investment he wants to make for the next 10 years. Any 3 of your top bets at this point in time?
Well, let's go with a mix of medium and mid cap and large cap. So I think in the large cap, I would just go with the TCS. If you want to hold for the long term, it's one IT stock that one needs to hold. I would go with a large cap banking stock. Here I will go with ICICI Bank. You can, it's gaining market share, and I would hold it for the long term. And you can pick up a mid cap stock, something in the consumer space. The choice is yours. There are many available. So I think consumer, IT, and banking, is going to do well in the very, very long term. So, one can take a portfolio and hold it for the long term.
All right, Kush, we have this one coming in from Vivek. He's given a couple of stocks, similar sort of domain. Most of them are from the auto space. One is JBM Auto at 859. The other one is ACE at 590 rupees per share. What's your take on both of it? Average or look to exit? He's making healthy set of profits, at least in JBM Auto, to what I can see, because his buy price was somewhere around 859 rupees. And also ACE. What's your take?
So continue to hold. In fact, this space is one space that we're looking at very strongly, in terms of a buy on dips kind of a strategy. There has been a fall, but the rebound has been sharp in, some of these names. So JBM Auto continue to hold. If you do get this stock again close to somewhere about 1800, 1850 odd levels, may not be a bad idea to, go ahead, add some more. From positional standpoint, I think 2200 and 2400 are very, reasonable targets on JBM Auto. As far as ACE is concerned, again, this space also had seen some traction, but off late it's come into a bit of a profit booking. Here too, we are looking at a buy on dip strategy. 1200 is a strong support zone, so closer to those levels, I look to add more. So both stocks on a fairly decent footing despite the kind of dip that we've seen, and I will look to add some more on both of these names.
The next query that I have, Shahina, is coming from Ravi Prasad from Hyderabad, and he has bought NCC 1000 shares from a price of 260 rupees. He wants to know the take on this one, and what will be your advice in Kush going ahead? If you could also advise him on the support level. Shahina, what will be your take on NCC first?
Yeah, he can continue holding the stock. It looks good for the medium to longer term, and numbers also are improving. They have improved substantially. This is not the last quarter number, so one can continue to hold.
Coming in, but Kush, any support levels that you can highlight for him?
205, that is the near-term support zone that we're looking at. If that does sort of give way, then the stock could see further lower levels all the way up to 190. So 205 is a support zone that I'm watching at for NCC.
This one is coming from Karishma, who's writing to us from Delhi. She wants to create an education fund for her daughter's college education, further education. But the stock that she has in her portfolio is HCC, about 13,000 shares at a price of 35 rupees per share. What should she do? What sort of strategy should she adopt for 2 years? Can she hold on to this? One, Shahina, two-part question. One, I want to know that if you are creating an education fund, HCC would be an apt stock to stay put for the longer term, and if not HCC, then which other stock can she look to invest in so that she can create a very strong, healthy portfolio for her daughter's education?
I think one should exit HCC if you're holding for the very long term, and especially with a target for creating a fund for education for the long term for your child. So HCC is not the stock to hold. I think there are better longer term stocks that we already discussed, some of the large cap stocks. There are a lot of large cap stocks. You can even go for a Reliance. It gives you an opportunity to be in multiple sectors like telecom, you have geo, you have retail. So I think one needs to be in a steady, like large cap, which gives you opportunity in large growing business also. I don't think HCC falls into that category.
All right, that's the take coming in from Shahina. But with this, viewers, it's time once again to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. As we come right back, we'll start taking your queries in the rapid fire session. So stay tuned for more.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let's continue taking your query. And this one is coming from Shahina, who's writing to us from Chennai. And 50 shares of UPL is what she has, but she's suffering a 10% loss in that holding. Kush, the question that she's asking, any guesses? You want to guess what she's asking? Can she average right now?
Oh, that's a good one. Well put. No, don't average. Hold with a strict stop loss of 450. The stock's been under a lot of pressure. So yeah, don't average. Hold with a stop loss of 450. If that is taken out, please exit.
All right, that's an exit coming in on UPL. But Shahina, what will be your take on Coal India after the correction? Balaji wants to know, can he go ahead and buy this counter at this point?
Well, I think he can buy it at this point.
All right. This one is coming in from Anjana from Kolkata, and she's invested in maximum of those defense counters like BEL, HAL, Bharat Dynamics. Now she wants to look to invest in Cochin Shipyard and Mazgon Dog. Does it make sense for her to go ahead and invest in both of these counters right now? Or should she wait for some more correction to creep in for all of these counters? Because if you look at the chart, despite the correction, they're still seeing a bounce back, isn't it, Kush?
For sure. So stay put in, the names that, she's already invested in. No issues there per se. Cochin Shipyard is one stock that she can enter currently also in some small quantities. Mazgaon Dock, my suggestion would be to hold. The stocks below its 200-day moving average and slipping further. So Mazgaon Dock hold. Cochin Shipyard can be added at these current levels.
All right, Shahina, a couple of more queries from the PSU pack. Gayatri wants to know, can she still hold IOC as well as NMDC in her portfolio? She's a long-term investor and she's saying that her profits are reducing day by day, and she's just concerned that is this a good time to make an exit of both of these names?
I would say exit both the stocks at current levels because the government is cutting prices for, I mean, not government exactly, but we are seeing softness in the pump prices for oil. So I think IOC can be sold off at current levels. And I think iron ore prices are coming off. So it's better to exit both the stocks.
All right, this one is coming in from Ravi. He's writing to us from Bangalore. He's holding 10 shares of Trent at the levels of 4,058 rupees per share. He's willing to hold for the next 6 months. Doesn't make sense for him to stay put with this particular counter, and also should he look to add some more in his portfolio? How are how are the charts actually looking for Trent? Kush, he is making mild bit of losses. Willing to hold on to? You think it makes sense to hold on to for more than 6 months?
For a more than 6 months kind of a horizon, yes, for sure. My only concern is that it may not see the same spurt that it saw about a month or so ago. There is a negative divergence that is very clearly visible on the stock, and it will start acting up. So hold on to this one. Positional stop loss 37.50, but from a 6-month horizon, continue to hold. Not an issue at the moment.
All right, but with this, viewers, let's kickstart taking all your queries in the rapid fire session. And the first query is for you, Kush. What will be your view on Dixon Technologies? Nishi is holding 20 shares from a price of close to 4,000 rupees. What to do in this one for a long-term investment?
Continue to hold. Don't look to add more just yet, but continue to hold.
Okay, Sunteck Realty is the stock. Kush, coming to you once again. 492 is the buy price. What's the target that one can look at for this one?
In fact, the idea here would be to exit on rebound. The stocks is in oversold territory. 410, 425. If you get those levels, perhaps good time to exit.
Okay, Shahina Devashish is holding 20 shares of Keynes Technologies from a price of 2,600 rupees. What will be your advice in this one?
I would say she can exit.
All right, Balakrishnan wants to know whether it makes sense to buy Saxoft and 63 Moon at this current price. Shahina?
I think no. It's better to wait for this.
Okay, Kush, Shriman Narayan is holding shares of ICICI Bank and he's still at profits. What to do in this one? Will that be a hold or sell?
Continue to hold. The stock could see higher levels in the coming days.
Okay, Sunita from Bangalore has PNB Housing, Kush as well as Pyramid Enterprises, suffering a huge loss in both of them. What strategy should she adopt now?
So PNB Housing for now is a hold. The stock could see a bit of a rebound. PEL is in sell on rise kind of a stock right now. So any moves that you get on the upside from here, use those bounces to exit.
All right. Shahina, what's your view on high-tech pipes? Anant Nayak is holding the shares from a price of 134 rupees. Sell or hold?
I would say hold.
All right, this one is from Vikram from Pune, and for the long term, Shahina, he wants to know which is this alcohol beverage company that he can look to invest in, and which is the right time to invest in the counter.
Yeah, so he can look at any of the ones that are available as of now. Maybe UPL is a better bet compared to the others as of.
All right, viewers, with this, it's time's up in this edition of Rapid Fire as well as on the Buy Now Sell Now show. Thank you so much, Kush, as well as Shahina, for joining us today and helping all our viewers resolve their stock-related queries.
All right, and as we wind down this edition of Buy Now Sell Now, the Federation of Indian Association is one of the oldest and the largest non-profit grassroots umbrella organizations. FIA has grown in tandem with the Indian diaspora while continuing to promote and safeguard and nurture the values and also culture that are vital to the Indian American community. And Times Networks, India's premium broadcast network, has been partnering with FIA for over a decade for their biggest cultural extravaganza, that is the Indian Day Parade in New York every year. So take a look.
The Federation of Indian Associations is one of the oldest and largest non-profit grassroots umbrella organizations. Established in 1970, the FIA represents the growing Indian diaspora in the Northeast USA. Through its over 5 decades of deep-rooted grassroots community engagement and enhancement initiatives, FIA has grown in tandem with the Indian diaspora while continuing to promote, safeguard and nurture the values and culture that are vital to the Indian American community. Times Network, India's premium broadcast network, has been partnering FIA for over a decade for their biggest cultural extravaganza, the India Day Parade in New York every year.